Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly Stevens, and this is Carly Stevens Books for all things writing, publishing, and indie author life. It's been a hot second since I've done a coffee talk, kind of an informal one like this. So I thought I would grab some tea, maybe not coffee, but I would grab some lovely tea and talk about what is working in my author business because some things are actually working. I have been an author for about 6 years, just shy of 6 years, and I have just had the hardest time trying to find any traction in marketing and advertising and all of that. So sometimes people ask me, well, how do I get my book in front of more people? And I'm like, I don't know, just what kind of books do you have? What kind of person are you? What way is the wind blowing right now? But I have discovered through an enormous amount of trial and error and hours trying different best practices that very successful authors have suggested a few things that actually are working for me. So I am not brand new. I am not a 6 or 7 figure author. I am still kind of starting to make progress. I feel like that's a much more reasonable expectation to have, that it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. There isn't some magic bullet that can get you, millions of dollars super fast necessarily. And so I did some soul searching a few months ago, more like at the beginning of the year, about how I could adjust my business to fit my books and my personality and be really honest about what wasn't working or what wasn't worth my time and really doubling down on the things that did seem to be working. So I had two YouTube channels, this one and then English Nerd, which is more of a catch-all, mostly academic channel, but there are some backlist creative writing kinds of videos in there as well. That is a monetized channel, but it does not it's not growing at a very substantial rate. It's more like people will look up the videos that, right before the AP Lit exam or something. And so posting weekly to that wasn't going to make a huge difference and was going to be a lot of time and effort to put together. So I put that on hold. Live events, in-person events were by far my most successful moneymaker last year. And so I thought I'm going to do a whole lot more of those. I'm going to get into more bookstores. I'm going to do more markets. I'm going to do whatever events I can find and just try to have something at nearly every weekend, which is an insane sort of gauntlet to throw down for myself. But it looks like I'm on track to do 30 or more events, not counting webinars and classes and things that I'm teaching online. So that's a lot. That's a fair amount of in-person events. But that doesn't match everybody's personality. I understand that. Uh, it does work very well with mine. I'm very comfortable interacting with people. I'm able to stand for a long time and transport a bunch of books and keep track of all of that kind of thing. So that does work for me. And so as I was thinking through all of this at the beginning of the year, with all my many different genres that I write, I have mostly fantasy, you can see up there. I have the Tenuan Academy series, which is young adult epic fantasy. There is Laertes, which is dark academia Hamlet retelling, so literary. I have spicy romantasy under a pen name, and that is, 18 and up popcorn reads. And then Power to Charm, which is cozy fantasy that's G rated. It's for everybody. It's like a warm hug in book form. So I love writing all of these things. I know that if I'm going to be, doing this 10 years from now, I really need the freedom to explore different genres and stuff. So I'm like, okay, this does not make advertising or marketing very easy because what can people expect from me? So I realized I needed to pivot. I needed to accept that I am my brand. And if people can like and trust me as a person, as a lover of stories, then I could start growing a following kind of like like Victoria Schwab. She's somebody that I look up to and who has a career that is kind of similar to what I would like to see in my own life. So a Victoria Schwab or a T. Kingfisher, Lee Bardugo, Joanna Penn, some of these people who have a following that will follow them to different genres and things like that. So I knew I needed to be more front facing. So I started doing TikTok lives, and that actually was fantastic. Even when I didn't have a shop attached, or even when there were just four people watching or whatever, I have met people who are in my corner who are telling other people about my books, who are buying them, who are leaving reviews, and I've done a lot of things for a long time that didn't get that amount of like reaction. So I started a TikTok shop and I'm slowly building that up. I just want to make sure that I'm able to fulfill orders in a timely fashion and I don't outpace myself in terms of growth and that kind of thing. So I recently ordered a huge amount of books for upcoming events and the shop. And so then I should be able to double down on TikTok shop a bit more. So things that are working for me, in-person events, cutting out things that are not working as much. So I'm not doing weekly videos on my YouTube channel. I'm not posting a lot on Instagram or TikTok anymore. Um, so cutting out those things, doing live events, and making myself more visible through TikTok Live and making my books available more directly. So directly from me during TikTok Lives or directly from my website. I have all my books on my website that you can get, and I direct people there when I'm not doing a live that has my shop attached because they get very uptight about that. The last thing I wanted to talk about that is working really well for me is repackaging and special editions. What is it that makes my books personalized and special and almost more like art, um, in addition to being great stories? So what I started to do is take my spicy books, which were just available on Amazon, because when I started the pen name, I wanted to keep it absolutely under wraps that it was me. So I couldn't publish it on Ingram Spark, which needs a named publishing uh, company or entity. And that was me, my real name. And I didn't want that connection. So it was just on Amazon. But now that the secret is out, I am releasing the paperbacks wide at the rate of one a month. So that means that because I'm publishing through Ingram Spark instead of just Amazon KDP, I can have this duplex printing, which is so pretty and is definitely a selling point for people. If I'm like, look at this, then people are more likely to pick up that book and buy it. Ordering books from Ingram Spark is a little more expensive than Amazon, but I think the quality is obviously better if you look at this versus this. Same book, but it is much prettier, and that is a selling point for sure. There we go. And then special editions. So not only taking and repackaging books, but also making special edition books. The production cost of special editions is more, and the margins are not necessarily higher than what I would earn from a simple paperback like this, in terms of like how much it costs to order it for me and then how much I can charge for it to other people. What is the difference there? It's going to be uh, about for a $20 novel like End of the Forest, I charge $20 at live events, and they cost me about 5. So I make about 15. And that is true of Power to Charm as well, but the numbers just get higher. So I pay about 22, 23 for each one of these beauties, and then I charge 38 for them. But I found that the special editions are a big draw because they are special. They are artwork in addition to being a book, and they don't feel quite as like mass produced. I think there's that as well. So for collectors, for people who are looking for gifts, for people just looking for something that stands out as really beautiful, special editions are the thing. I've sold more of those on TikTok Shop than I have of other books, and I have plans for more special editions in the future, not only because I like special editions, but because there is a movement toward wanting more beautiful books as well, being a little bit pickier. So even though the economy is poor at the moment, special editions I think are still doing well because people can say, okay, this is my very special book. I can get this one thing, and it's not only a good story, but it's going to look absolutely beautiful on my shelf. So yeah, I still offer more affordable options because I deeply relate to the idea that you can't buy all the books. This is decades of collecting that you see here. It's not, you know, I started a TikTok and just did a bunch of hauls. But so yeah, you can still get the ebook versions or the audiobook versions for very little or sometimes nothing, like it's included in Spotify. But I find that I make the most sales, both in number and amount of money, with physical copies that are beautiful in one way or another, that have some special aspect to them. All right, so I didn't have huge plans for this video except to kind of appreciate the thunder in the background and let you know what is working for me. And by that I mean it's moving the needle. It's really making a difference in my income, not in the ways that you necessarily see online with the people who are like, I was poor and now I'm rich. That's not my story at all. But in terms of sustainable growth, this is a big step in the right direction. And I took many steps in many directions that were not the right one before this. So if that's helpful for anybody out there, I hope that this is encouraging and gives you some ideas about how to be a more successful writer yourself. All right, that is it. I am out. I'm going to sip my tea. This is my Tanuan Academy mug, map mug. Yeah, I need to pack up some direct sales that I made, send those off today, and get ready for my next live event. That is a lot of what my authorly life is now, between writing and things like that, of course. All right, thank you for watching. If you're new here, please subscribe, like this video if you like it, and I'll be back next week. All right.